Hey guys, it's Sherry here for Friday Fundamentals. I think I'm just a few minutes late. So I'm going to give you guys just a minute. Maybe some of you thought I was too tired. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. I'm super tired today and I thought, oh, the thought of going live. But it's what we do, right? And in light of yesterday's big redesign paper release, I thought we would talk today about my favorite way to decoupage. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use. There's putting on the top coat, letting it dry, putting the paper, ironing it. It reactivates that top coat. You can use Mod Podge. Hi Pam. You can use spray adhesive. As a matter of fact, on the new big A1 tissue papers, you know, the big ones, they actually recommend to use spray adhesive on those. But for me, just regular old tissue paper, I love what I'm going to show you guys today because it is so easy. Okay, it's almost set it and forget it. It's really that simple. And because I am not so great at cutting perfectly straight lines, this is also really good for that. Okay, so one thing I wanted to tell you guys though, today I'm going to be using dark damask. It's 19 by 30, but they're split in half. So it's that 19 by 30 in two like this. And a lot of people kind of complained about that because if you wanted to use it on a larger surface, you had to kind of try to line those up. So Prima listened. They heard you, they listened, and now we still have a 19 by 30 in the new release, but it's only one sheet. Okay, so they're totally letting us choose where we want to cut it, and I think that's great. So one of the things I like most about decoupaging is it's a really great way to add a little bit of pizzazz to some of your pieces. Especially, I like to use it especially on the sides of drawers or on drawer bottoms. And the technique I'm going to show you guys today is perfect for those things. So I'm going to tilt down a little bit. I might miss some of your questions if anybody has any, but I'm going to tilt it down and I'm going to try, sorry guys, I'm going to try not to knock the phone out like I did 3 weeks ago. So I have this jewelry box that I'm working on, and as you can see, it's kind of ugly on the side. Now I don't really want to paint it. Usually if you're using one of these tissues, they're not totally see-through, but some of the lighter papers with, you know, like say something like this, you guys backwards for me. Something like this, if I do this on a really dark surface, then it's going to be a lot darker and more muted. And sometimes I like that. Like today, I'm not painting under this because I want it to be darker and a little more muted. So I've already cleaned it. I'm just going to scuff it just a little bit. I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay, so see I already cut a piece. I'm awful at cutting straight lines. Can you see how crooked that is? Yeah, I'm bad at that. So what I do is I use clear coat. Okay, I'm using the flat. I like the flat. I like it because it's a little more runny. If you have used the Dixie Belle Satin, it's more of a consistency of pudding that hasn't completely set up. So, but this is a lot thinner, and it doesn't matter what sheen you use to do this. Okay, so I've got my zebra, and yeah, I think you guys can see. So basically all I'm going to do, well, I should probably, let me make sure that because I cut more than one. Is this the right? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that one's too big. You know what? I'm going to cut a new one just so you guys can see. So these papers, they're tissue. They almost feel Hey, Nancy D, happy Friday. They almost feel material-like. They're not. It's just the way they're woven. They don't tear really easily, which is really great because when you're doing this technique that I'm going to show you, if you were using, you know how you take the napkins and you peel off that outside layer? Man, that stuff tears. I have to cover that with plastic wrap and just be really careful when I'm spreading it out. This, you don't even have to do that. So I'm just going to cut a piece that I like. And I'm just going to make sure that I cut it bigger than where I'm doing it. Okay, that's the key here because I don't want to take a lot of extra time trying to perfectly cut it the perfect size with a whole bunch of straight lines. It's just not going to happen. So is that good? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right, so you take your clear coat, friends. This one's really runny, and you're going to do just a really generous coat on here. I did some this morning on the other sides of these so that you guys can see what I do after it's dry. So, and I just get it everywhere I want it to be. And you're going to do it generous, okay? Don't be stingy with your top coat here, people. I mean, you don't want it so it's running down, but, you know, you don't want it super thin either. Okay, so that's about how much I have. You can kind of see. Now I don't remember which one I cut for this. Yeah, this one will work. Let's see. So I have one really straight edge, okay? That's from the edge of the paper. Thank you for cutting it so straight, Prima. And I'm going to put it on there. And I'm going to line it up where I want it to be. And then I just pat it down. Now, if you're some people are kind of creeped out getting sticky things on their fingers, wear some gloves. I'm not, but some people are, and I respect that. So you want it to get on there, nice and flat. And then you're just going to top coat over it again. Generously still. Don't be chintzy. And it might want to come up a little bit when you're doing this. And you know what? That's okay. If this was tissue, it would be tearing by now. But it might move a little bit, and that's fine because we are going to move it back to where it belongs. So we're going to put it back in its home. Make sure it's right there. Flatten it down. There are sirens outside, so if you guys can hear them, I apologize for that. And then you're just going to leave it be and let it dry. So I'm going to set that one aside because you're going to say, well, look, it's all sloppy. How is that going to go in the drawer? There's stuff hanging over. What are you thinking? So once it's all dry, and I couldn't find my good sanding pad. You guys listen, I've been setting up a second location, and like 15 years ago, maybe even like 5 years ago, it would have been a lot easier on my body and on me than it is now. But I'm tired. So I couldn't find it. My house is a mess. So I'm going to use this little sanding pad, and it should do the same thing. So once it's totally dry, you don't have to try to cut along here with an X-Acto or anything like that. All you have to do is sand this edge a little bit more. Oh, it's almost done. I'm going to go all the way around. So sanding on this edge is going to absolutely, perfectly cut my paper for me. And I'm glad you guys can't see my face right now because when I'm sanding like this, I have a tendency to stick my tongue out. Because, you know, you can think better with your tongue out. So, there we go. It's coming. A little more. And I had to use an old sanding sponge that had sanding paint dust on it, but that's all right. You guys get the idea. And it's perfect. Okay? And that's it, friends. That's it. And it's on there. It's not going to come off. It's not super thick. Like I didn't. Let's hold this up. There we go. I didn't put so much on here that it's really thick. You just, anytime you're painting any drawers at all, you just want to make sure that you have enough gap. Like the drawer doesn't fit so tight already, because if you paint or stencil or put paper on it, whatever, and it's already really tight, it's gonna scratch the crud out of it. So, and it might not even close. So that's it. So now if I'm doing the inside, yes, you have to cut a little closer. You still don't have to do a completely straight line, because once it's in there, you saw how easy this kind of cut it on the corners. If your nails are sharp or, well, I use my nails, but anything that has a little tiny sharp edge, not super sharp, just sharp, you can actually run it inside along the corners there, and it will get off any excess. So it's just a really simple way to do something kind of nice, you know, on your pieces, that little extra touch, so that when your customers or friends and family open up those drawers, they go, wow, that's really pretty in there. So, okay, so easy, so easy. So if anybody doesn't have any questions or anything, go to my website and check out the new papers. They're under new releases. Super excited because I already have all the new Dixie Belle papers and transfers on order, and they should be here and loaded to my new releases tab on my website too. So, hi Marilla, how are you? Thanks for showing up and watching. So yeah, if you feel like there's somebody who needs to see this, feel free to tag them below or sprinkle this to them. And if you're in my big group, you can go watch it there as well. All right, thanks guys. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.